Reality slips far away, fiction comes alive, we start to play. Hope is no more behind the closed door as we drift away from where we were before. Hope and hopelessness become one, it's all meaningless, we've already begun. Yup, we are all one and the same, never opposites, we play the same game. So I listen to the world and right from wrong, stay focused so I can stay strong. If you ever wonder why I'm trapped inside, it's probably just because I told a pack of lies. Maybe a dream, maybe it was pride, maybe for myself I often wonder why. Until our very last breath, we're running after life, trying to beat death.
Walking in line between hope and despair, running from the truth, but it's already here. Told so many lies, I don't know if they can find me. Only one life to live, so choose wisely. Heads or tails, they even know beside your on. Doesn't really matter if it's on the same point. If you wanna achieve, you gotta believe the time right now. There's the door, here's the key.
Chase the pain, don't let it fade away. There's a ray of hope beyond despair. Move on, look on the truth in this world.
Only one life to live, so choose wisely.
Let the world come, you should find a solution. Beat the twisted evil face. Just do it, go for it.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko? What do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it. That's right. Our last names. He called us all by our last names.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance. His first name.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance? Now, isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you take your false accusations so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine! Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up. My real name is Celestia Ludenburg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celesta won't give up. So then, I have to do something to make her accept it.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenburg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending, it's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me, that's the only truth there is, moron!
If I remember, there's something here that shows its owner's real name. I'm sure Kyoko mentioned something like that at some point. It may not be related to the case, but it might come in handy anyway.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
if there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenburg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending, it's the truth. And since you have no way to...
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all you have to do is check your handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because... Till the game's over, you never know what might happen!
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, They convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect, so when they met up with them, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Toko to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought this surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and injured Hifumi to tell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that, but while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene, in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is Celeste, sorry. You lose.
I lost? I lost! When was the time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenburg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Okay, Monokuma, I'm ready to begin. No, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It's indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time for vote, okay? Okay! If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the Black Hand? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Black Hand this time, the true killer who defies the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenburg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan? But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder.
I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying.
My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
Then did you use... you know?
I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name. But it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into.
Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
What? What? What are you talking about?
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here.
I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How sad.
Then you're the one that stole it.
That's right.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with.
Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it had disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
It was Taka. He stole it.
What?
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd showed it to Hifumi, of course.
Yeah, so it was him! But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her!
You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
What?
Please, forgive me. He threatened me.
He did?
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
That's a crime! An absolute crime! I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far!
It was amazing how he completely bought it. I can't even express how enjoyable that was.
I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him! I'm going to fucking kill him!
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Huh?
Taka is planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target.
Escape? You don't mean...
Taka is going to try to kill you.
What?
And all so he can keep her to himself.
That bastard! Bastard!
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts?
Absolutely not! How could I? She... I have to save her!
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan.
Huh?
I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen, and to escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love. Even a love as twisted than that can still drive people mad, it would seem.
You disgust me.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect?
Because you're stupid.
That's it?
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though.
I feel like I could cry.
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead?
What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once everyone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he had just barely held on.
And he really believed that?
Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. I explained to Hifumi the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it.
It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical.
I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it all up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So you had planned to kill him all along?
But of course. There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
How can human life mean so little to you?
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Now you sound like Byakuya.
No. He derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Then, what made you take things this far?
Was it really just for money?
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money. It's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
Obviously, that was a lie!
Yeah?
I couldn't take it! I hated it from day one! More than anyone else in here! I wanted to get out! Every day was fresh torture! And do you want to know why? Huh?
Hey, did you like the video? Wanna watch more? Ooh, how about this video? Or maybe this one? So many choices. Almost as many choices as there are choices of donuts. Donuts.